was getting ready to do the garden tour and saw this terrible sight. So sad. This is my biggest tomato I've ever grown. I almost picked it yesterday, but I was like, no, it's not ready yet. Then I came out to see something, took 2 bites of it. Unbelievable. I accidentally forgot that that was connected to the back of this, but dang, this thing would have been huge. Look at this. This would have been big. Well, if you guys saw my update on the garden tour, I guess I don't know, it would have been earlier this month. I'm always a little behind between when these videos make it up and then when my garden tour videos go up. But long story short, I had a tomato, my biggest ever tomato in the garden. I mean, look how spectacular that is. I mean, it is heavy. I was a day or 2 away from picking it, and as you can tell from the hole in the bag, something got into it. And this is what I had it on the vine in, but I mean, it's heavy. It's it's thick. That's my hand for reference. I mean, it's big. And it was out over on that Earthbox, and it's from the German Queen that was in this spot on this Earthbox pre-frost from Florida. So this plant died, but I had taken a cutting of that one and the sugar cherry or sun sugar or something, and those were over there, and somehow they survived the frost and are doing really well. So anyways, it was my first German Queen from over there, and it was the biggest tomato I've ever grown, and then something got it. So I am not brave enough to eat it with that big of a chunk missing out of it, plus there's like peck marks on the side. So I'm really bummed. This is literally the biggest tomato I've ever grown, and it is huge. So I figured I don't want to waste it. You know, it's part of the ecosystem where pests are going to eat things, and that just is part of it. And I've been looking online at solutions and recommendations, so we're going to look at some, like, maybe some owl statues. I already put peppermint oil down near the plants, but since I know there's worms in the middle, since these guys got fed in the middle last, it's been longer than normal for the feeding, but I just don't want to waste the tomato. So we're going to just put this beautiful giant tomato, previously chewed. It's doing so good too. It's gonna go in here, and my worms are gonna love it probably, and we'll just continue the cycle. I'm just really bummed about it, but that's the only feeding we're gonna do right now. I've been opening this up a little bit more, letting some room come out, and for context, the drippage is pretty minimal. At least, I mean, like if I go like this, I can feel liquid in here, and you can kind of see liquid around the edge. So I know there's still liquid in here, but what I want to do is I want to try to start drying this out a little bit more, because like when I poke here, it feels pretty good. It doesn't feel like liquid, so I know the liquid is just down here. So I want this to dry out because I really want to make some worm tea fresh. Because we have a lot of vegetables getting going out there, and I really want a nutritious supplement to help get them little boosts throughout the growing season. I know it's not a replacement for a fertilizer, but I'm going to try and follow the method that the guys over at Urban Worm Bag recommended. They had a really great blog post about it, I don't know, like a month or two on. Obviously, most of my garden is a container garden and mostly earth boxes. And Earthbox says that if you do the full fertilizer and dolomite when you plant, that should sustain you for a growing season. But I don't exactly measure the fertilizer when I'm using it. I've been doing it so long, I just kind of eyeball it. But because I have some heavy feeders, like the tomatoes, that are going to be growing hopefully over this new tomato tree here, the trellis, then, you know, they're going to probably last longer than the normal growing season. And so I want to make sure they're getting some extra nutrient support. So I'm sure we'll be doing a couple different things, but worm tea is something that's been on my list to do for a while. I might as well use it because I have the castings available. And yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better from my surgery. And I think I can probably harvest this pretty easily from the bottom, which is the whole point of this thing, is an easy harvest. So hopefully we can start doing a harvest here, or even a little bit of a harvest. Like, I don't even want to do a whole lot, just a little bit. I'd love to do one soon. So fingers crossed it dries out a little bit and we can use that. And then, yeah, we'll get some exciting worm tea started, hopefully. All right, well, thanks for sticking with me for this sad day of tomato feeding, but such is life, right? Okay, friends, bye.